Hey friends, welcome to week 3 of Healing Starts at Home. I'm Beth Krause, founder of Grace Anatomy Functional Health, and today we're going deep into one of the most overlooked root causes of chronic health issues and what's living in your gut that shouldn't be there. If you feel bloated after every meal and crave sugar like it's your job, can't shake that brain fog, or have these weird skin flares or rashes, or feel like your body is working against you, it's truly not your imagination. You may be dealing with some type of a gut infection, a fungal overgrowth, blood parasites, or a microbial imbalance. And yes, you can experience this even if you eat clean. Even if you drink your smoothies in the morning, or even if you're using organic toothpaste or your homemade remedies, these bugs, known as parasites or pathogens, don't care about that. So today you're going to learn some of the following. You're going to learn about what kinds of parasites and pathogens may be sabotaging your gut, the connection between these invaders and fatigue, cravings, anxiety, autoimmunity, and these skin flare-ups, how your blood work already holds these hidden clues, and the herbal and nutritional tools that we use to gently and powerfully evict them. So let's get to the root of what's going on here. Your gut is a dense jungle of microbes. There's over 100 trillion of these microbes growing in our gut. And most of these microbes are friendly. Some of them are neutral, and they just camp out, but others are opportunistic freeloaders. And if your immune system gets overwhelmed, they will take over and cause these really awful side effects. Some of the most common invaders that we see in the clinic are these GI parasites, and they're linked to IBS and hives, anxiety. We can get a waterborne parasite that causes bloating, diarrhea, and fatigue. There's another one that can cause constipation or mood swings. And then we have these worms that disrupt sleep, itch, and steal nutrients. We can get bloodborne and tissue parasites that infect the red blood cells. You can get something from undercooked meat or even from cats, and can be linked to psychiatric symptoms. You can get another one that can migrate through skin and lungs, and they're very stealthy. And then you can also get a fungal or a Candida overgrowth, and these can drive cravings and yeast infections, rashes, mood changes. You can get fungal toxins and these give off the mycotoxins. They burden your liver and can mimic autoimmune illness. You can get these pathogenic bacteria like H. pylori. Now, not in all cases is H. pylori a bad thing, but in a lot of cases it is. And it's associated with ulcers and heartburn and a lot of belching. You can also get other forms of like Clostridium and Citrobacter, and this can drive inflammation, arthritis, and leaky gut. These can enter through contaminated water, undercooked foods, international travel, barefoot contact with some soils, pets, insect bites, typically through open areas of skin, or even overuse of antibiotics. Once inside you, They replicate, and typically quickly. They steal your nutrients and they release these mycotoxins, and they inflame the gut lining or your bursal joint, your joints. They just wreak havoc. I am going to share a story, a personal journey of my own, and that resulted in a severe system shutdown for me. I was traveling overseas, and I did get infected through water. I accidentally brushed my teeth one evening without using the bottled water, and within 24 hours, I became extremely and violently ill. It took a couple of days and it ran its course, and I thought once I returned to the States, I would be fine. Well, I was not, and I had many, many parasites, and I finally got tested, and after many, many months of going back to the travel doctor that continued to dismiss me and said that I didn't know what I was talking about, I finally found a naturopath that tested me. I was under 100 pounds by this time, and looking at pictures back then compared to now, I was so pale and so anemic and just so broken. Mentally, physically, my muscle structure had just tanked, and every 3 weeks I was getting extremely, extremely ill. So these test results show that I had so many parasites. So anyway, I did finally, through many essential oils and nutrition, through supplementation, through nutraceuticals, I was able to rid myself of these parasites. I also at that time found out that I had mold growing and fungus, and was able to rid myself of that at that same time. So you see, all of these things, this fungal overgrowth, these parasites, doesn't just happen when you're overseas. If you have pets, or you're working in the soil, or you're exposed to toxins in your environment, or if you are living in a moldy environment and you don't realize it, or even if you do know it, you need to rid them of your system. When these pathogens grow and you don't check them, they weaken our digestion and our nutrient absorption, our ability to get that good nutrient in the nutrients that we eat absorbed. They punch holes into our gut lining called leaky gut. They release these mycotoxins, and they disrupt our neurotransmitters. It really wreaks havoc with our nervous system, which leads to anxiety, depression, irritability, sleeplessness, all of this. It confuses our immune system, and it puts us into a chronic state of stress, which triggers autoimmune conditions. So some of these symptoms may include unexplained food sensitivities, including skin flares like eczema, psoriasis, or acne, rashes that are just showing up randomly that you never used to have and that you don't understand, joint pain or muscle twitching, night sweats or insomnia, teeth grinding or itching around the rectum, which is a classic parasite sign, and hormone chaos. And this is worsened during PMS, irregular cycles, or when you have adrenal fatigue or burnout. These parasites don't just live in your intestines. Many, especially protozoa and blood parasites, migrate to your organs, your joints, your lymph, and even to your brain and behind your eyes. So, blood parasites are a little trickier because they are harder to detect than regular parasites. But through a functional lens, we can get a little bit nerdy for a minute, and that is what my specialty comes in, because I can see things in the blood that clinically from a clinical lens, they're not looking for. We can look at your eosinophils. We can look at your ferritin levels. We can look at your ALT and your AST levels. All of these blood markers are showing me from a functional lens, where are you on that parasite scale? I can look at your globulin and your total protein. I can look at your lymphocytes and your neutrophils. And I can look at your white blood cell count. So these markers are things that when they're off, looking from a functional lens, they give me signs. I don't have to see symptoms. I can see the signs in these markers. And remember, it's not just about what's out of range, it's about the patterns that I can see. Your body tells the truth when you know how to listen to it. But the signs and symptoms don't necessarily need to be right there, but your body will be already speaking to you. There's different phases to cleaning out these parasites. So the very first thing, we have 6 drainage pathways. And we do need to understand that we need to open these drainage pathways in order for elimination to happen. We have to hydrate. You need to make sure that your minerals and electrolytes are balanced. We need to move the lymph. And part of that, just rebounding on a rebounder or bouncing helps. Vibration plates are big now. They help move the lymph, the stagnant lymph. Dry brushing is also very effective. Walking, a 10-minute brisk walk right away in the morning and after each meal is also very effective. And sweating. Sweating is a great way to move stagnant lymph. You can do that by exercising. You can do that by gardening, joyful movement. You can do that even by sitting in an infrared sauna. Supporting your liver and your bile. You can do that by using digestive bitters or ingesting milk thistle supplement. And then making sure you have regular bowel movements. Aloe vera is very good for that. Also taking in a good magnesium supplement. Now knowing if you have parasites, we need to starve them. So, what are some things that they love to feed on? You're probably thinking, oh no, don't say it, right? Sugar. They love sugar. So, of course, removing processed sugars is key. Also, gluten. I know it's like a repeat, rinse. Sugar, gluten, alcohol, and industrial seed oils. Those are the things they love to eat. What are some things they don't like? Well, they don't like garlic. They don't like pumpkin seeds or papaya seeds or raw carrots. So those are all things that are good for you to eat during the time of active parasitic infection. And then incorporate more foods like coconut oil or oregano. That is one of the oils that I used on the bottoms of my feet. Clove oil or clove in your foods. Thyme. They do not like these herbs. Drink gut calming teas like marshmallow, peppermint, and chamomile, just to give your intestines some soothing relief during this time. And then do a targeted parasite protocol. Now, there's different ways we can do this. Of course, we have a very good supplemental nutraceutical parasite protocol that we can do, but we can also do an herbal protocol. Supplemental doesn't take quite as long. Herbal will take a little bit longer, but we walk you through step by step and we hold your hand through it. It's just up to you which path you want to take. And then along with that, we want to make sure we're taking a really good binder to help carry all of that out once we kill them off. Once we take that phase 3, we want to restore and rebuild your gut and your system. And how we do that is we add in some key nutrients through digestive enzymes. We still want to be taking those. We want to restore with amino acids and calming to the gut. We also want to bring back great pre and probiotics. And we want to slowly reintroduce some wonderful fermented foods and some really great nutrition. Again, we walk you through every single one of these steps. We also have optional support for blood parasites as well. And one of those is sweet wormwood. Every client's protocol is customized, but these are the foundational principles that we use as we guide you through these. So as I've been talking about each one of these steps, if you watched my clip earlier this morning, I asked a couple of questions. So let me ask a couple of questions again today off of my checklist. And if they resonate with you, grab my link that's in the comments and book a call with me, because you might want to take this parasite assessment. Are you irritable with no apparent reason? Do you get fevers out of the blue for no reason at all? Do you get frequent colds, flu, or sore throats? Do you sleep with pets on your bed? Do you have frequent vomiting that is not due to anorexia or bulimia? Are you very lethargic or apathetic? You just are disinterested in life. Do you have dry lips? Do you drool while you're asleep? Do you have restlessness when you sleep? You toss, turn, or wake up often? If you've added yeses to these questions again, whether occasional, sometimes, or regularly, you might want to think about booking a call with me, doing the parasite assessment, and seeing what your next steps are. This isn't just physical. It can be very spiritual and emotional too. You may feel very violated and discouraged, but hear me clearly. Your body is not gross. This is not gross. Everything needs to purge, And everything ends up having parasites along the way, some form, way, shape. It just happens. We deworm everything on this planet, but we don't think about it for ourselves. We need to do everything we can to protect ourselves. So do something to protect yourself. Psalm 139:14 says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Healing requires courage. It requires consistency and compassion. We don't cleanse because we're fearful. We cleanse because we're wise. If today's message stirred something in you, don't ignore it. Your symptoms are not random. Your fatigue is not imaginary, and your healing is not too far gone. Book a consult with me. I left my link in the comment section down below, and we'll look at your labs, and we will analyze them together. We'll do the parasite assessment, and we will get you on your steps to cleansing. I will see you guys next week at noon for your series 4 on how to tie all of this healing at home together. See you guys next week.